So I think we'll go ahead and get started. I always like to give a couple minutes for people to get logged in. I believe tonight is going to be a little bit of a shorter meeting. Lieutenant isn't able to join us, but our biggest goal for tonight was to go over the details of the upcoming holiday parade, have a little bit more conversation on developing a calendar of events moving forward, see if there's a team that would be interested in that. Last month, I know that we talked about trying to identify the individuals who have done events in the recent year and connecting with them to try to put something in place that would have a template behind it, so to speak, so the events can be based on a system as opposed to a person. If somebody gets tired or isn't able to do whatever responsibility they typically do in an event, that somebody else could jump in and take over the responsibility with a little bit of guidance on what that looks like. So am I missing anything else that people who were here last time can think of? Whoop, Renee, I think I saw you talking, but you're muted.
I just said I don't think so.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. Anybody else have any agenda items that they'd like to talk about? And I see Representative Fagard, so good to see you. You're also muted.
Good to see you. So I understand that Levi Irish and I will be sharing the Economic Development Coordinator position, and I feel like that should intersect with these discussions. We haven't got a defined start date yet, but as far as I'm aware, that's something we can anticipate moving forward. And I think that just to let you know, and that probably will draw us into some support role to help make things happen, is my guess.
Beautiful. That is super exciting. Okay, and
could you, sorry, it's Amy, how are you? Could you maybe give us a little description of what that actually is, economic services development?
So the job description is pretty expansive, everything from marketing and sort of helping make suggestions about making the town more attractive. Like, I think that Richford should be the daffodil capital of the state. It would be inexpensive and make people want to drive through the town in the spring when we're desperate for daffodils. But managing the website, getting a list of all the businesses that are in Richford, and helping move forward, writing grant proposals, administering grants. It's I think it's actually a good thing that both of us are going to be sharing the job, because I think we can get a lot more done faster with two people each working 20 hours a week than one person working 20 hours a week, even though it'll be kind of compacted into the winter. But I am guessing that some of the details will get worked out, and things like, community events are part of marketing Richford. And, on one hand, they're really good for the children and the families, these family-friendly events. On the other hand, if we have music every Thursday in the park all through the summer, that's something that draws people who want to come to Richford and spend money, or maybe buy a home.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned the music too, because I know we talked about that last meeting, how effective it is. And of course, I hate that reminder that COVID has, put such a damper on those types of events currently, but to stay forward thinking, and as soon as the opportunity arises that we can start doing stuff like that, I just love that that's part of your goal. Very exciting to hear. Amy?
So I don't really have too much on my end. Like I said, I think that COVID's kind of put a damper on what we can and can't do. And then with the, with with what's been going on. I don't know, Tracy, Amanda, do you guys want to talk about the parade and if there's anything that we need or any volunteers we need still for any help with anything like that? We did confirm that both Border Patrol, Sheriff's Department, and VSP were planning on having vehicles, decorated vehicles for the parade.
I'm so sorry, Amy, you were cutting out at that last part. I'm so sorry, can you repeat that again just so it can be heard?
Yep, sorry, what part didn't you hear?
I think I heard you say Tracy's name and then something about vehicles, but yeah, if you'd like to repeat everything you just said, that would be fantastic.
Okay. So I just didn't know if Tracy and Amanda wanted to talk about if they need any help or anything with the parade. They want to talk about the decorations in the park. I saw that Tracy had put a post out today on Facebook, so I'm not sure if people are vandalizing what's going on, or maybe not. Maybe I just read it wrong. Also, I just wanted to say that we have confirmation from VSP, Sheriff's Department, and Border Patrol, and they're going to be having vehicles in the parade this Saturday.
Okay, that's awesome, Amy. So yeah, actually, as far as help, if somebody wants to watch the park 24/7, that would be great. Amanda and I and Mike just actually left there because we got a message from somebody. They witnessed somebody they thought popped the snowman, but we went down there and checked, and apparently they were just punching it, and they ran behind Weatherby stores. So we were down there trying to find the person that did that. Had no luck. But if I had, I bet that both of them will be popped by morning. Mike and I were down there for 2.5 hours today, duct taping the Santa Claus that somebody slit and put cigarette holes in, and we put the snowman back up. But if I had to put money on it, they'll be popped by morning. And it's just frustrating because we spent $800 of fundraising money on lights last year to decorate the big tree, and every single strand of lights were cut on the bottom. We couldn't even use them this year. We didn't even decorate the big tree. So we bought the blow up things instead. And it wasn't even 24 hours and the Santa was already popped. So, I mean, it's just frustrating. And actually, Amanda and I have talked about it today, and we've done it. This will be our 4th year, and we've had enough. It's just, we put all this time and energy and a lot of money out of our own pocket. And for this to happen every year, it's just discouraging. And I guess we've had enough.
Yeah. Or the sheriffs are in town tonight. It's Thursday, right?
This is Thursday. There weren't any that we saw in town. We took many spins through town. And yesterday, apparently there was a witness that saw 3 people buy the Santa Claus yesterday. They actually plugged it in. And this was at 4:45 in the afternoon. They don't care what time of day it is. They don't even care. So yeah, that just happened with the snowman, and the Santa happened apparently yesterday at 4:45 around there. But we took many spins through town just a little while ago. We didn't see a sheriff anywhere to be found. So it's just frustrating. And,
yeah,
we try to do a lot for the town, and this is what we get. And and honestly, to me, it falls back on the landlords again.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. It's who they let in.
I do know the sheriffs are supposed to be in town tonight, Tracy. They're supposed to be there, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I think.
Oh, well, we had 5 of them here the other day. 2 state cops sitting in the Dorian Hall, 2 down by the ambulance station, and then of course the other sheriff, he works at the school. We can't, for a while we couldn't get 1. Now we got 5 just hanging around town at 8:30 in the morning. It just makes 0 sense.
And once again, I'm going to say it, there's not one select board member that has joined this meeting. And that's frustrating too.
Yeah.
And that can be put in the minutes.
Yep.
And as far as Saturday, it would be great if there was somebody there that could, Amy, you said you had to work, correct?
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
unfortunately.
For somebody to help organize, put people in line where they should be. And I don't know, I haven't, the fire department is participating, but I do not know myself what streets they can go on and what they can't. So it'd be great if one of them could maybe lead it off because they know what streets, and we're also having the McDermott's truck that's going to be in it too. So we need to know what streets they're able to go on. I know I've had people message me asking me, are you going to go on my street, this street? And I'm just unsure of the streets that they can go on. And it would just be nice if, because Amanda and I are going to be busy doing other things to get people in line for the parade. And I think we're going to have a good turnout for side-by-sides.
Yep.
So
Tracy, what you're asking for is you need somebody to organize the line of the parade, for the parade up at the high school?
yes, so I think what's going to happen is we had put the post for everybody to meet at the high school at 5:30.
Yep.
But apparently it's hard for the fire trucks and the McDermott's truck to make the turn at the high school. So they're going to be at Blue Seal in the parking lot there. So what I'm thinking is everybody that's at the high school at 5:30 will wait until 5:45, and then we'll head up to Blue Seal and meet the fire trucks and the McDermott's truck.
Okay.
We'll have to meet them. Okay. Yeah. So Amanda and I are going to be walking, and some of the high school kids that are doing community service hours, they're going to be dressed up in costumes. So we will meet everybody by the bridge.
Okay.
And we're gonna walk Main Street, and we'll be handing out the gift bags to the kids.
Okay.
So we need somebody to organize it at the high school and at Blue Seal, because we won't be there.
Okay. And we have,
So I don't know who we can get to do that.
let me think on it, and I'll see if we can find someone to volunteer. Maybe somebody from the past meeting, we can get them to do it.
Okay, that sounds good.
And I'll just, so we need 2 volunteers, one at Blue Seal
And
and one at
maybe
the high
it's
school.
something like Andy Pond will do. I know he's done many of these parades like they did. I think he was in the fire department was in the graduation one.
Yep.
So he probably know, and he would know
The route.
yeah, and what streets they can go on and can't, and because we won't be doing the streets with them because we'll be just doing the Main Street handing out the bags.
Right. Okay. So let me check into that, and I'll send out some messages tonight.
Okay.
And see if we can get a couple. Not unless anyone from this call wants to volunteer to help.
Well, there's not many.
I know.
Renee? I'm joking.
I don't mind helping, but I don't know what is expected of, doing that. I mean,
No, I was joking, Renee. No, we can. I'm sure Andy Pond will do it. Somebody's just gonna have to reach out to him, I guess. I can reach out to him.
Okay, so you'll reach out to Andy so I don't do it, or?
Yeah, I'll reach out to Andy Pond and see if he'll be willing to do it once everybody meets at the Blue Seal.
Okay.
Also, we're going to need somebody to judge. We're doing first, second, and third prize for the most decorated side-by-side.
Okay.
So maybe we were thinking somebody from the Sheriff's Department, Border Patrol, State Police, maybe one of them would volunteer to judge.
I can reach out to, I'll reach out to the Sheriff's Department because they're going to be there anyway Saturday night. They should be working there
Okay.
in the town. Sorry, I'm
Perfect.
having people text me asking me to send them the link, so I'm trying to multitask. Melinda?
Thank you, Amy. So one thing that I am also excited about on our agenda tonight, but I want to make sure that that you guys had a chance to talk through the upcoming event. But Amy Brewer with Northwestern Medical Center has joined us as well, and she was going to explain some of the programs that she's involved with. And I'm super excited to see her. Hi, Amy. Is this a good time for her to give an overview of what she has for services available? Or did you guys have any more discussion about this weekend?
No, I think that's about it. One more thing I want to add is I'm sure you guys heard when we were decorating a few weeks ago in the park, we had some high school kids there, 9th graders mostly, that were doing community service hours helping us decorate. And they actually witnessed a drug deal going on right in the park. And we did get pictures. So I don't know if that's been, you know, if you guys are aware of that, but yeah, it's pretty sad. We had high school kids there that witnessed that.
Okay, and you said that it was something that you got pictures of. Was it reported?
No.
Yeah, you did report it. It was,
I actually
someone
didn't
reported it.
get the actual deal, unfortunately, but
Amy, did you say somebody did report it or no?
I believe that it was reported.
Okay.
yeah, it was
Yes.
emailed to that email address.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we can follow up with Lieutenant Kern too, just to make sure that it was received.
Great. Thanks, Amy. And so sorry to hear that. Okay. Amy Brewer, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what you do and who you are?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thank you for letting me jump in on your conversation here. I was trying not to be such an eavesdropper, but so as Linda said, my name is Amy Brewer. I'm a health educator at Northwestern Medical Center, and I coordinate the Franklin Grand Isle Tobacco Prevention Coalition, which is an extremely long name. I didn't choose it. I'm stuck with it for now. But I wanted to join in. Richford's always been a community that I have very few connections to, but recognize that, you know, there might be a high youth smoking or youth vaping population, or other needs. Every summer we come in, we do a cigarette butt litter cleanup, and we give that information back to the town. Would love to be a stronger resource for Richford in talking about substance use, especially tobacco. And so I just wanted folks to know that I'm a resource personally, and there are other resources. In the past, I've been connected with Rise Vermont and Safe Routes to Schools, and looking at all those ways to kind of look at your community and make it more walk friendly or bike friendly. And what I'm hearing tonight is, I know Richford has some great infrastructure. It's got sidewalks and all those kinds of wonderful things. But if people don't feel safe, they're not going to do that. So addressing some of those safety things that you were talking about, and drug deals out in public, and the feeling of not having law enforcement present when some is needed, obviously are higher priorities than making sure our kids walk to school, but well, they're related. So anyway, I'm rambling, but I'm just available to help out in the community. Certainly I am connected to the high school, but just want to make sure that if there's any way that I can help support youth make healthy decisions, or adults make good attempts, that you all know I'm here.
Thank you so much, Amy. Could you share how people could be able to contact you?
You
The
think
best
that
way
would
to
be
reach
helpful?
Yeah, it's all good.
My brain turns off at a certain period in the afternoon, and nighttime meetings often are me babbling on. My email is abrewer at nmcinc.org. I can put it in the chat. Phone number is a little tricky at the moment since I'm not in the office very much, but I'll put my email in the chat. If you have an idea, want to bounce it off me, want me to address something in your community, I'm happy to follow that path. And you need to get in touch with me. Melinda most certainly knows how to get in touch with me too. So let me put my email in the chat. But I'm happy to answer any questions, or if you want to hint me in a direction, I'm happy to follow it up as well.
Thank you for putting your info in the chat, Amy. Does anybody on the call have questions for Amy? Okay. So the next thing that we wanted to touch base on, now I have two Amy's, so I'll clarify. I talked to Amy Jacobs earlier too, and taking into consideration the upcoming holidays, do people feel comfortable with continuing communicating after this meeting, but tabling our next connection via Zoom until after the holidays? How do people feel about that?
I think that's a great idea.
So should we pick the next date then?
Yeah, let's look at, I'm thinking that the first or second Thursday in January would be my thought, but I really want it to be up to everyone here on what you feel would be best. I'd hate to see momentum lost, and at the same time, I'd hate to try to force something to happen if people are busy with the holidays and whatnot.
So we either have the 7th or the 14th. What does everybody think?
I think the 7th,
Okay.
Yep.
personally.
I'm fine either way.
All right.
The 7th works.
Okay, so we'll plan on the 7th, June 7th for the next Zoom meeting. And that being said, thank you so much.
January.
What month did I say?
January.
June.
Oh, yes, January, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. And thank you to Amy Jacobs for keeping the Facebook page updated as well. Are there any other items that people would like to go over?
I would like to know that if Amy Brewer has any swag that she may have available to provide somewhere in the community. I guess the second question would be if anybody that's on here knows where that location may be. And if she did, I would be more than happy to deliver it.
I would
And when
say
you-
maybe somewhere's at the Notch, they have a table maybe up near the pharmacy or something, or maybe we could talk to, called Vista now. It's like, what's the grocery store called? Maybe somewhere's in the entranceway there or something.
When you say swag, you mean like, 802 quits brochures, or you mean some t-shirts and pens? And my stock is pretty limited right now, but I will give everybody anything I have.
But more towards the brochures, Amy.
Okay, am I speaking with Jody?
Yes, you are.
Okay, because Melinda's lighting up, so
I'm so sorry, I should
I
have
was
put Melinda and Jody
confused.
too.
Hi, Jody.
And maybe a little bit of like backstory to that too, Amy, because we're doing more outreach to people struggling with homelessness and want to make sure that they have access to helpful resources.
Yep.
I think that you have my my contact information if you want to put together a time when you have that put together, and then we can connect on me picking that up.
Yes.
Okay.
You got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And are there any other topics that people wanted to go over tonight?
Hey, I just have a question. So I know that they're going to be opening up like hopefully I get it correct, is it the youth center in St.
We lost you, Amy.
Albans?
We heard you say opening up and then you disappeared.
The youth center in St. Albans, is that opening up soon?
The Spectrum Youth Center, they're slated to open the beginning, my understanding is the end of this year, beginning of January is the goal. On Lake
So-
Street.
Okay, so I was thinking maybe too, for the next meeting, we could maybe try to have someone from there talk about it and see how we can maybe get maybe some bus passes or something for some of the kids up here to go down there and hang out, or
That's an awesome, awesome idea. I'll put that on my homework list to reach out to Mark Redmond, who is the executive director of Spectrum, and ask him. I also know that they just hired, I know at least one of the people they hired on for staff, and she is
Me too.
a rock star in the community. So I'll see if we can't get them to join IBP and give an overview of what they're doing, what's available. The other thing that it makes me think of is if he doesn't have the ability to provide bus passes and whatnot, that we could reach out to the Agency of Human Services and see if they might have the ability to provide some bus passes for the youth in Richford to be able to go to that drop-in center. So I'll take that as an action item on myself. I think that's such an awesome idea.
okay.
And I think that it's important that that myself or whenever possible, Levi Irish attend these meetings just in the future, because everything's connected, and just like with the Franklin County, Grand Isle community gatherings over at Northwest Medical Center, you just never know what kind of connections will be made. So I'm hoping that this will help build the energy to make good things happen. And I'm really upset actually to learn that somebody cut all the Christmas tree lights last year, and I'm starting to think about, like, how can it be done differently so that's not an option for somebody who's feeling a little hateful and adventurous.
I agree with you. When I heard that, I'm very happy that I was muted because my feelings in response would not be positive. So yeah, I'm happy that you voiced that. And my heart goes out to Tracy and her team who put all of that effort in with their hearts behind it and have an outcome like that. It's really painful to hear. So I've got for action items, and thank you, Amy Jacob. I know you're taking notes as well. I so appreciate that. So I will reach out to Mark Redmond with Spectrum to try to get him to join a future meeting. Are there any other service providers that this group feels would be valuable to bring to this group so people know what is available?
Landlords?
That's a big one. We had one IBP, I think it was our first Zoom meeting where it was either the first or second where we finally got a landlord who had shown up. And sadly, it was right after the meeting ended up closing early because the attendance was, I think there was like 3 of us on. But yeah, I will continue to advocate and ask, not that I'm super powerful, but I would love to try to encourage our landlords and our landlord liaison, who also expressed an interest in being part of this, and she's fantastic. So I can reach back out to them and see if we can't be organized in targeting a specific IBP to focus on landlords, landlord liaison, and the topic of housing. I think that's a great idea.
I think that's the way to clean our town up is we start there. That's where we need to start.
Thank you. That's noted. I'll definitely do some outreach on that. Are there any other topics that people want to cover? I just saw somebody new attend, not to call you out, but Jeremy, do you have anything that you'd like to touch base on? Anything you're interested in for future presentations?
No, I'm good right now. Sorry, I'm late.
No worries, no worries. It's, I guess, to give you an overview of what you missed, we were going over the updates of the upcoming holiday parade, the Christmas parade. We went over a few different resources that are available to the people of Richford. We were talking about reaching out to Spectrum Youth Center and asking them to join a future IBP meeting so they can present the services that they're providing. And we also know that they're located in St. Albans. So I'm taking an action item to see if the Agency of Human Services or another service provider would be able to donate some bus passes so the youth in Richford could go to that drop-in center. And yeah, I guess, and then Representative Frigard is going to be, she's such a powerhouse, and going to be helping to outlay the future of events, calendars. We're hoping, we got the suggestion last week from, or sorry, 2 weeks ago from Lieutenant Parton to be forward thinking in a calendar for a year, for the next year, to make things come together a little bit more seamless. So that's something we're looking at.
And we do need some volunteers for the parade on Saturday. Just basically lighting cars up or
We lost you again, Amy. We heard you say lining cars up and you disappeared.
one at the high school and one at Blue Seal. Can you hear me or no?
Okay, so yeah. I don't want to assume that was directed at anybody specific, but volunteers are still needed.
I have a question, which is going to reveal my ignorance. In my notes from the last meeting, I failed to put the date of this parade. Is it this Saturday? Okay, I won't be able to help. Sorry to not be able to volunteer.
Amy, is it possible for us to put a post up on the Facebook? I say us, for you to put a post on Facebook looking for the volunteers as well?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll try to get creative too. I'm trying to think of the meetings I have tomorrow, and people connected to Richford, and see if I can't encourage them and ask them for some help too. Okay. Is there anything else that people wanted to go over before? It looks like we'll be able to adjourn early, but I don't want to keep people's time, but I don't want to overlook anything that people want to talk about.
Do we have any kind of Abenaki community in the town?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I'm aware of the Swanton Highgate area, and historically that was more their where they resided. But if we have some kind of Abenaki presence in the town, maybe it makes sense to have to invite them to have an event, a culture sharing event that the town could help foot the bill for and help organize if they want.
Yeah. How would we figure that out?
So I have an idea. I just gave Jody an action item. So he can reach out to Crystal Lampman with Franklin County Caring Communities. He's on that board and they have a great relationship, and ask her for some guidance, because I have a feeling she would be the one who would know them first. So we'll put that on an action item for Jody to do.
Thank you.
He did nod his head before I said that.
Can I ask Amy Jacobs, what's the Facebook post that you're posting this stuff to?
It's a Facebook page. It's just called IBP Richford.
Okay. I might have it. I'm not aware of it.
If you can, are we muted? Oh, we're unmuted. If you find the page, Renee, and you like it, that'll automatically give you access to those posts.
Yeah, I got it now.
There you go. Okay, anything else that anybody wants to go over? Okay, well, I don't want to keep people on if there's nothing else that you want to chat about, but it looks like we identified the next meeting, the holiday party, and I can't thank the people that have done this work enough. I know it's not my community, but it just warms my heart to see that kind of dedication. And thank you, Amy Brewer, for showing up and sharing your info.
Sorry, it took me a couple weeks,
No worries. It's been a very interesting time for everyone. So
hasn't it though?
yeah. Okay, well, I hope that everybody has a great night. We will see you in January. And if anything comes up that we can be helpful with in the process, don't hesitate to reach out to Amy Jacobs or myself. Yeah, my words aren't working very good either at this time.
And could I invite Tracy to email me? Just email my legislative, and maybe we can brainstorm for kind of vandal proofing future decorations, if you want to, Tracy.
Sure. What's your email?
It's C Fagard, so the letter C and then Fagard at ledge.state.vt.us. If you can't remember or get it wrong, you can just Google Vermont legislature and it'll take you to the legislative page, and you can search for any legislator by town. And it'll give you a link to the address.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining tonight. Thank you for the information sharing, the action items. I love that. That's my favorite part of any meeting. And we'll look forward to seeing you all next month. I hope everybody has a safe and beautiful holiday.
Thank you. And I just put my my email